Hello class ninth. Welcome back to the online classes. Today we are going to take a new chapter 3rd, that is atoms and molecules. Let's begin this chapter with a quick introduction. It was around 500 BC when an Indian philosopher Maharishi Kanad postulated that if we go on dividing matter, at that time matter was called Padarth, we shall get smaller and smaller particles. Ultimately, a time will come when we shall come across the smallest particles beyond which further division will not be possible. He named these particles as Parmanu. Another Indian philosopher, Pakuda Katiyama, elaborated this doctrine and said that these particles normally exist in a combined form which gives us various forms of matter. Around the same era, ancient Greek philosophers like Democritus and Leucippus suggested that if we go on dividing matter, a stage will come when particles obtained cannot be divided further. Democritus called these indivisible particles as atoms, meaning indivisible. All this was based on philosophical considerations and not much experimental work was done to validate these ideas. Laws of chemical combination. The following two laws of chemical combination were established after much experimentation by Antoine Lavoisier and Joseph Proust. The two laws are the law of conservation of mass and the law of constant proportion. Law of conservation of mass. This law was given by Antoine Lavoisier. Law of conservation of mass states that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. Or this law can also be stated in other terms as, in a chemical reaction, the total mass of the reactants is always equal to the total mass of the products. That means the total mass in a chemical reaction, either of the reactants and the products, it remains same or equal. Let's do an activity to verify the law of conservation of mass. A conical flask containing a chemical solution Y is taken. Take another ignition tube or a test tube and hang it in the flask so that the two solutions, the solution inside the ignition tube, that is the solution X, and the solution inside the flask, that is solution Y, they do not mix with each other. Now we have to record the weight of the reactants. After measuring the weight, tilt the ignition tube so that the two solutions X and Y, they can mix with each other. So when the two chemicals they get mixed, a chemical reaction takes place. So again we have to record the weight of the product after the chemical reaction has taken place. Now when we look at the weight of the reactants and the products, it was seen that the total weight of the reactants was equal to the total weight of the products. So this activity shows that the total mass of reactants is equal to the total mass of products. Hence, this law is verified. Law of constant proportions. The law of constant proportion is also known as the law of definite proportions. The law was given by Joseph Proust. This law states that in a chemical substance, the elements are always present in definite or fixed proportions by mass. For example, if we take water, since water is a compound, we know that it is made up of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. So, in water, the ratio of mass of hydrogen to the mass of oxygen is always 1:8, whatever the source of water. That means if we take water from any river or any lake or any well, the ratio of elements, that is the mass of hydrogen to the mass of oxygen, this will always be fixed, that is 1:8. Thus, we say that if 9 gram of water is decomposed, 1 gram of hydrogen and 8 gram of oxygen are always obtained. Similarly, in ammonia, nitrogen and hydrogen are always present in the ratio of 14:3 by mass, whatever the method or the source from which it is obtained.